welcome back to another episode of Two Joes and the Pro. As always, you have your guys, Kenny, Ryan, and Brian. Hold on. Messed up my mic. I had messed up my mic. I was like, bro, why am I sounding so low? Anyway, you got your guys, Kenny, Ryan, and Brian, for another episode. What's going on, my boys?
Same old, man.
Chilling.
Same old. I say, just because I'm not at work, I say it all the time. I feel like I don't see y'all, and I don't. So, this is my one appearance for the week. I come back on the end of the month. I'll be back in the 20s, somewhere in the 20s. I don't know yet. It just depending on how I feel. No, just playing. No, I'll be like, I think it's like the 24th or something like that.
Dang, bro.
24th, 25th.
Take your time.
Yeah, I ain't trying to come back. But anyway, let's talk about that offline, okay? Don't tell anybody on my business. Anyway, back to what's important, sports. Let's talk on the NBA. Let's not talk on the NBA because I know you're going to hit on the Lakers. The Lakers are out of the playoffs. Yeah. Right? That's the elephant in the room. Everybody's worried about that. Like, Kenny, are you going to tell us? Yes, the Lakers are out of it.
What a massive disappointment. Massive disappointment.
LeBron
Go ahead.
said he wanted to play with Curry on his.
Here we go.
Here we
go.
On his
I
HBO
knew it.
show.
I knew it was coming. Yes, he did say that. Why? He's just saying. They're like, what's somebody that you would want to play with? He said Steph Curry. What's wrong with that?
LeBron's been in the game long enough, like the PR game. He knows he throws something out there like that on his own show. He's just putting it into the universe. He'll get what he wants.
No, not that.
No, first of all, it's too much money that Curry's getting right now for the Golden State Warriors, and they just extended him with a big bag.
LeBron played for free.
No. He's not playing for free. That's not. You can't look any place he played in his career. He's never played for free. He's always came with the premium, always. Right, short deals, giving me big money. Right, that's been LeBron. So anyway, the Lakers are out. That's what everybody cares about, right? The Suns embarrassed them. The Suns are the number one team. The Suns are the best looking team. Devin Booker is a baller. Memphis Grizzlies. They are. I don't know if you. They just have a hell of a coach, man. Their coaching staff is crazy because they don't have any new additions than last year, right? Besides them being a little healthy, but everybody's elevated their gameplay. Everybody's been playing a lot better, and they're number 2 in the Western Conference, which I don't care what nobody said. Nobody would have ever predicted them to be number 2, right? And sustain. Right, it's not like Cleveland Cavaliers in the Eastern Conference. We're like, oh yeah, they're good, and then they drop off. They've been sustaining and have been beating a lot of good teams, right? So yeah, they're in there. The Golden State Warriors. I know they said Steph had his injury because the Boston Celtics have dirty players, and I'm not gonna mention any names, but Brian knows.
That wasn't a dirty play. Get out of here.
Come on.
What?
Cut it out.
You can't dive for a ball now?
You're diving in the ball in his legs? Come on. Let's be serious. It's going out of bounds. The ball is going out of bounds.
But it didn't go out of bounds because he dove and he got possession.
It's not ever that serious, bro. That you're going to dive at somebody's legs. It's never that serious.
Okay, Kenny.
It's never that serious.
Okay.
It's never that serious. It's not like football was it a fumble where it's like, oh, damn, it's a possession that counts. It's basketball. They turn over the ball all the time. So that's what I'm saying.
I guess you play a different kind of basketball than I did.
Tell you what. I almost said something. I had to catch myself.
Yeah?
I almost said something. I had to catch myself. Hey, all I'm going to say is that we play 2 different basketballs correct. That's it. So anyway, that's really what's important in the Western Conference, right? The Clippers, Paul George had a little Kobe-esque a game last week. He went crazy. I think he had like 24 or something like that in the fourth quarter. Something wild. He just was going off on his. I think it was his first game back too. And then in the Eastern Conference, not about to say finals. Eastern Conference is pretty much anybody's game, right? Whoever is going to be hot is going to be the team that's to beat, right? You got the Boston Celtics, which I know Brian's happy about, playing very well. The Miami Heat, they look like they are, keeping that, animosity under control over there. They're playing decent going into the playoffs, right? 76ers, same thing. The Bucks, they've been playing well. Grayson Allen has been playing, a little bit out of his mind, if I would say, higher than what you would expect for, a player that of his caliber that's kind of been like subpar his career. He's playing really good this year. Giannis is getting back into his regular form. And then you can't forget about the Nets because they're down there at the bottom and people are forgetting that they got Kyrie and KD. And Kyrie is in his bag. Like, he might have the craziest handles of all time. I'm going to go on a limb and say that. He might have, I might just go ahead and say he has the craziest handles of all time. He's like a magician with the ball. I don't know if y'all saw the highlight. He was dribbling the ball. He put it behind his back, through his legs, and he was running. He like dribbled the ball and was running without touching the ball, so it wasn't considered like a carry or anything. Caught it back, pop, 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 went to the cup and got the and one. He's just different. So I'm looking forward to the Eastern Conference. I think since the Lakers are not in it, the Eastern Conference has a chance to win it this year.
What? You thought the Lakers were going to be in it?
Oh, that was my joke. Anyway, but yeah, that's really what we have going on in the East Coast. I know Lonzo Ball's not coming back. They said his knee injuries, it's not healing fast enough, so he won't be back for playoffs. So it'll be mid-game DeRozan, which I know Brian keeps saying, he's not good. He's been balling too. He's been balling out of his mind too. I know that a lot of people are going to say Embiid might win the MVP, but I still believe that Joker should win it just because he's been consistent all year and he's been playing way more games than Embiid. And then get into NCAA. It was probably the best Final Four of my lifetime. I would say that. I'm going to go on a limb and say that. You can't.
Villanova didn't show up.
But they didn't show up, but the game wasn't lackluster, right?
Yeah.
It was still interesting because you're like, man, maybe they'll make a comeback. But it was a good setup to the hell of a game that Duke North Carolina game was. That Duke North Carolina game lived up to every single expectation, every headliner, every like Coach K's last game. Could it be against his rival? It was perfect. And you can say that they kind of cheated Duke at the end. Because I don't know if you guys, did y'all watch it? Yeah, it should have been an N1.
Yes.
That call at the end should have been an N1.
Yeah.
There's no way they said it wasn't an N1. It should have been an N1. And it was bullshit that they didn't call that, right? And but the game the whole time was just back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And it was just like, dog, you couldn't even, I had the girls, right? And I couldn't even like walk away. Cause I was like, Tasha's like, hey, you need to give her milk. I'm like, hold on. She can wait. Just put the pacifier in there. Cause this game was too good, right? It was just so crazy. And then had that leading into the national championship, which was on Monday, and North Carolina came out the gate. How you say his last name? Bogut? How you say it? Baguette?
Bacot or something like that?
Bacot, yeah, sorry. Bacot.
Something like that.
He had an ankle injury, right? And he came in the game, was playing pretty well. They getting up Kansas in foul trouble. Kansas was down 15 at halftime. Everybody was like, oh, shoot. And then Charles Barkley, you can guarantee it. Every time you say guarantee, the team normally lose, right? So everybody's like, damn, Charles, now you mess it up for him. And Kansas came out the second half. I don't know what Bill Self said to them, but them boys came out the half rolling. And then it wasn't until Bacot, or however you want to say his name, sorry for butchering your name, it wasn't until he rolled that ankle towards the end that it was like, all right, it's done.
Yeah.
Because he was the complete difference maker because he's a dog on the boards, and he wasn't there. So then you have McCormick really just, all right, it's by myself, and that's kind of what separated. But North Carolina shouldn't even let Kansas come back in.
Nope.
They took their foot off the gas.
Yep. Right.
They took their foot off the gas and got complacent. They're like, oh, man, we're beating them. We're good. We can coast through. Which they have had losses this year that resemble that same way. Go up big and then you let somebody come back, right? But shout out to Kansas for playing their heart out. Shout out to, who I think is the player of the year, Abaji. Buddy is a problem. I think he won the most valuable player as well, most outstanding player for the Final Four as well. So, yeah, but college basketball is over. NBA is over as far as I'm concerned because the Lakers not in it. So I'm probably just gonna sit here now and just watch you guys talk for the following episodes to next year.
Oh. All right. Real quick, hockey. We got about 3 weeks left until playoffs. Like I said, keep an eye on the Western Conference and the 3 or 4 teams I think it is that are battling out for the last 2 spots in the conference. Starting to heat up. If you're a hockey head, go ahead and keep watching that. The Eastern Conference, like I said last week, locked up as far as the top 8 teams. They're just jockeying for position and they're trying to figure out who they want to play and who they don't want to play. I mean, that's really about it. We'll keep an eye on that for the next couple weeks and get ready for the playoffs. But baseball,
opening day,
baseball's back. Ryan's all excited over there, as you can tell.
Woo!
We've already got 2 postponements for opening day tomorrow. I know the Red Sox Yankees game has got pushed to Friday because of rain. Yay, spring games! Gotta love those games. But they already had a built-in day off for Friday. Like, they were supposed to play Thursday, a day off on Friday, and then play Saturday. So, I don't feel bad for them. They should be playing more than one game without a day off. And I think the other one was the Twins. The Twins, I forget who they're playing, but they also got postponed. So, be looking for them on Friday. But yeah, it's time. It's time for some baseball. I'm excited right now. I probably won't be that excited come May because I'll be all into football after the draft. But because baseball is just a long season. But hey, I'm excited now, so let's do it.
Wake me up in 162 games.
Oh man, I implore you to.
Such a long season.
I implore you to watch some games if you can. Really.
I will pay attention.
Like, try to focus on maybe when there's like a good pitching matchup, like when you got like a, Ohtani versus Kershaw or something like that. Like, try to find those games. Or if
are those games usually quicker?
They're more exciting because they're
it's way more exciting. I don't know about quicker
because they're so like dominant pitchers. Like it's just so exciting. I don't know. Maybe you don't like pitching. Maybe you want to see a lot of hits and a lot of home runs. So then
that's all I want to watch.
I want to see bat flips.
Then you should watch.
Tell me the worst pitchers.
The San Diego Padres.
Well, Tatis is out for like 2 months or 3 months, something like that.
Oh, I forgot he's out.
Yeah. I mean, they're still gonna hit some bombs, but at the same time, they're not in a hitter's friendly park. Their park. So
Yankees, Red Sox, because both don't play defense.
No, Yankees and Red Sox are gonna be hitting it out of the park a lot this year. I will say one thing: there's a lot of people, like experts in baseball, that say the Red Sox aren't gonna make the playoffs, and I think that's wild. The fact they were in the ALCS last year, no way they don't make the playoffs this year.
Is that a BK bet?
That's a BK bet. You can bet the Red Sox are in the playoffs. Their over/under for this year, I think, it's either 85 or 87 games.
Is that a BK bet?
That's another BK bet. You're hitting the over on that. You're hitting the over on that all day, baby. So get those bets in. You got until tomorrow.
Good thing he's not biased.
Yeah.
I'm telling you,
no favoritism in these picks.
I'm just saying, man. I don't know how you're going to go from ALCS to being out of the playoffs, and all you did was made your team better in the offseason. At
least that's one Boston team that's making their team better because the Patriots not.
Well, you're right, but they're not from Boston.
Devontae Parker.
I'm sorry, Mass. Yeah. Same thing to me.
Devontae Parker.
You said Devontae
bro.
Parker. Oh.
You're stealing Ryan's segment right now.
Yeah.
You're right. Before we get in, I want to say one thing before I forget, because I probably will forget. The 2 Joes in the Pro March Madness bracket. Shout out to Wilson27. I know you wrote us on the last episode. If you can, hop up on Instagram and write us on Instagram or Twitter so we can make sure you're compensated. And then I believe it's Con Ryle, but if I know it, I think it's Connor Riley, my old teammate in college. And Connor, just text me, or you can write us on Instagram as well. We'll make sure you're taken care of as well. So congrats to y'all, too, for winning the inaugural 2 Joes in the Pro Madness.
All that matters is I beat Brian. All that matters.
You did.
Yeah.
You did beat Brian.
It was Villanova or bust for me, buddy.
Yeah.
The same guy. It's between us two.
Well, it was.
I told you it was not even a chance. No chance. No chance. You just hoping and praying. Nah. Oh, rub your finger. You like this.
I was a torn Achilles away from winning that thing, okay?
Bro,
my
there was
God.
nothing he was going to do. They was going to give mollywops regardless.
Told you he
My
had
bad.
a built-in excuse. He was ready to go.
And I am using it.
My bad for cutting that segment.
Hey,
No, you're
it's
good.
all good. I mean, I'm just saying, like, baseball's back, so let's get ready for it. Friday or tomorrow, actually, Thursday. That's all I got for now.
Today when you're listening to this. If you're listening tomorrow. Anyway.
Well, that's if Ryan edits it, tonight.
What am I not? What am I not?
Sometimes.
Guys, relax. Tranquilo.
Take you anymore. All right. Football?
Yeah, football.
Yeah.
all
let's
right,
do
all
it.
right. So the Saints and the Eagles made a trade. So the Saints are acquiring the 16th overall selection and the 19th overall selection with a 6th round selection as well. And the Eagles are getting back. They basically swap first rounders and then the Eagles. So the Eagles are going back from 16. They're giving up 16 and 19. They're going back to the 8th. They get the 18th pick from the Saints. And then they're also getting a 2023 first round pick. It's the Eagles basically saying to themselves, one, we're going to give Hurts another year. Two, the talent in this draft class is not as good as they want, so they want to get into next year's draft class.
For
So
what, though?
they want a 2020 because if what's his name doesn't work out, Hurts doesn't work out this year. They know they're not going to replace him with a quarterback this year, so they want to have 2 firsts next year in case they want to move on from him, so they have like leverage. Because they'll have 2 firsts next year.
I'm trying to think of what quarterbacks are coming out next year. Bryce Young. That's it.
Oh, anyways, a 2024 second rounder and a 2022 third rounder as well. And a
So they just swap
7th rounder.
picks.
Yeah, they just swapped picks. It was only picks, no players.
I think it's also a money thing because they didn't want 3 first-round salaries in the same year.
That makes sense.
You know what I mean? Like,
It
spreads it
wasn't
out a little
connecting
bit.
for me. My bad, y'all. It wasn't connecting for me. I was like, I don't understand that.
Now
Oh,
they
my
only
bad.
have 2
2
firsts this
firsts.
year,
Yeah.
2 next year. Eagles, I will
makes
give that to the Eagles. They are very good at that, like the draft pick trading and they always have picks. But
Man, I was thinking it, but I didn't say it.
Golly. They get all the picks and still mess it up.
I mean, they won a Super Bowl more recently than some of us.
A lot of teams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Bobby Wagner chose to go to the Rams. You know, they
Business
just keep
decision.
getting better. It was a family decision, apparently.
He got a lot of money, too.
Yeah,
Oh, he
he
definitely
wanted to
did.
stay close to home.
Yeah, but he got like $50 million, right?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Check.
Something like that. High guarantee, too.
Yeah, it was a good contract. I mean, some of it's dummy years. Like, there's no way he's playing 5 years or 4 years, whatever it was. Like, because he's, 31
It's a
already.
2-year deal worth $17.5 million. Is that him?
Definitely not a 2-year.
No, it was like a 4 or 5 year deal.
Yeah, it's definitely not a 2-year, bro.
I'll look it up. 5-year, 50 mil?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, something like that. 2-year, $3 million deal.
I think that was their initial. Yeah, right. I think their initial offer was a 2-year deal, but he wanted 4 years. Gronk is not committed to coming back. He's going to come back at the end of training camp.
Yeah, he's just taking some time off. Leave him
Yeah,
alone.
he's just
That's
chilling.
smart though. Why would you
Exactly.
say it
He
earlier?
doesn't
Yeah.
need to. Brady will tell him what he missed.
He already told Brady his plans. Okay.
He didn't miss anything. The playbook ain't changing.
No.
Exactly. Did
They
we
need to
cover
bring back
that last
AB.
week? With
What?
Did we cover that last week? I can't remember if it happened between
About
last
what?
week. It was what's his name stepping down?
Yes, we
Arians.
talk about Aaron.
It happened that day.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
it happened like right before, right?
Yeah.
All right, Bruce Arians stepped down, so they're chilling.
Do you think AB comes back now?
No.
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 Hey,
Only
The
because they got
Saints-
Russell Gage. That's all. They play the
that's
same
the
position.
only reason why. AB needs to get his foot right, he said. That's what he said on Instagram. He said he needs to get his foot right, but he wants to find out what team he's working on before he figures out like what he's doing with
If he's getting his foot right.
Yeah, because he's like, I want to know that I have a future, that I'm not just doing it for anything.
Rehabbing for my personal health.
Yeah.
What?
He's wild, man. He's nuts.
Hey,
Andy Dalton signed to be the backup on the Saints for Jameis Winston. So they released Blake Bortles, which I didn't know.
He was on the team?
Yeah, I didn't know.
Oh, I didn't even know Blake Bortles still existed.
And then today, Stephon Diggs reached an agreement with the Bills on a 4-year extension, $96 million extension.
Is that, what does that put him at?
It's like 24 a year, right? Or something like that. Or no, 20 a year, something like that.
He'll receive 21.5 mil signing bonus and 70 mil in total guarantees.
Pretty good money. It puts him in the top 5 for wideouts, so that's all that matters.
It doesn't put him in the top. So he definitely took a cut. Like
they probably tell him that because Josh Allen. They got to cash Josh Allen out.
Yeah.
Or they did.
They already paid him. They did that 10-year deal thing, right?
Yeah. No. They did 10 years with him too.
I thought they did this. He did a similar deal to Pat Mahomes.
To Patrick Mahomes? I didn't know that. But yeah, like they have a lot of guys that they got to offer some bread coming up.
His was a 6-year deal.
Yeah.
It was still a long-term contract.
Mm-hmm. And he's still young, right? How old is Stephon Diggs? He should be like 29.
He says he's gonna finish a bill. I think is what he was saying. He's gonna finish out his career as a bill. Because that'll put him up. Because Diggs is how old?
29.
He should be 29.
28.
Him in the same age.
There's 29 November. So.
Oh, you're right.
Hey, I'm quick with the Google, man. November 29th. That's a good day. Russell Wilson was born that day. I don't know why I know that. Why I do
that is kind of weird.
Yeah, it is weird.
This is my mom's birthday. That's the only reason I know that.
Oh, that makes sense.
What else we got? The Tyreek Hill. I can't wait for the Dolphins this year.
You think they're gonna be good though, bro?
No.
No.
It depends on the coach. I don't know.
Being a fantasy guru, how does that affect Jalen Waddle then?
I think it helps Waddle more than it helps because it takes coverage off of Waddle.
Yeah.
But Waddle he does like short yardage stuff.
Yeah.
And Tua is definitely comfortable with Waddle and he's got a better rapport. I think you're going to get a lot of missed throws downfield with Tua trying to connect with Tyreek Hill. It's gonna be tough.
The thing is, they have to throw the ball to Tyreek Hill though, because you're giving him all that money. The front office is not gonna be happy with all that money you're giving to him for him to run go routes. You could have did that with doggone what's his name, Kenny Stills or Will Fuller, right? And they could have did the same thing and just run streaks, right? I understand they're not gonna get the same coverage or people coming over, but it's like you giving 100 and something million for him to run goals and deep posts and not throw them ball. I don't know.
The only thing that makes me nervous with that is that he is clearly going down there because he already won his championship. He already won his Super Bowl. This is like a family move because isn't he from Florida?
Nah, he just says he stays there majority of the time when it's off season. So he said, I'm already down here, so he
might be chilling. I don't know. Yeah. Is he gonna care that much? Really?
He'll care.
I'm sure he will.
But it's definitely a bag chase move.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So like to Ryan's point, it's like, is he gonna play hard? Yeah, but how hard is he really gonna play? If he doesn't get the ball all the time, he's not gonna be upset. He's gonna be like, all right, whatever. I'm still getting my cake. I'm good. You know what I mean? So
I think it helps Waddle. I mean, they are losing other players, so the target share for like Devontae Parker and like whoever else they had. I think they franchise tag Gesicki as well, but I also don't think that they're not going to throw the ball a ton with Tua. But who knows? Maybe this new coach likes Tua, as opposed to like Brian Flores, who like had a thing against Tua. He did not
Mike
like
Jones.
that man.
Who?
He
Mike
hated
Jones.
that guy.
I cannot wait to see his interviews this year. They're going to be hilarious. He's just always on jokes. I don't know if he's going to change as the head coach now. Is he going to be more serious? But I don't think he is. I think he's going to be a jokester.
It might be for a little bit, but if they start on a losing streak, it's not going to last.
Serious real quick.
Yeah.
Gonna get serious real quick. Like, hey, what's going on? Don't talk to me. Answer the question.
What's their? Do they have the draft capital next year in case they need to get a quarterback? I really don't think Tua's it in Miami.
Why don't you?
I don't understand why y'all think that.
Because
he's the most efficient quarterback of all time
within 10
college.
yards. Yeah, he ain't throwing the ball downfield.
I still don't understand why you don't think that. Like
he's just a hater, bro. He's a hater.
All right, we'll see.
Brian is a hater. Hater.
You can mark it on the tape right now. This is Tua's last year starting for Miami.
Oh my gosh! Just like what's it called? Teddy Bridgewater got starter money.
I mean, he got just as much starter money as homeboy in Pittsburgh did. So
Trubisky.
Yeah,
we get it.
So that's all I'm saying.
He ain't starting, bro.
We'll see. Nobody thought Bridgewater was starting last year.
While we're having this back and forth with me and Brian, like we always do, how much did Andy Dalton get for his contract in the Saints?
I don't know.
Come on, right? No, continue, Brian. I want you to just continue your little speech.
I ain't got nothing. Okay. I'm just saying. Bridgewater. Nobody thought he was gonna start last year, and he did.
Who? Mac Jones?
No, Bridgewater.
Oh. Okay.
Don't you put Mac Jones's name in your mouth? Don't you say
trash.
That? Oh, okay.
He's not trash, but he is.
Yeah, that's Kenny's Alabama coming out. He's like, oh, he's not trash.
Yeah, don't say trash. He ain't trash now, but he's not the one yet, but he's not trash.
He's more than Tua.
1 year, $10 million. Backup.
That sounds similar. Backup money, $10 million.
Is it backup money? Because, I mean, maybe it's
no,
insurance
he already
policy.
said it. He said it out his mouth. Hey, I'm coming in here to help Jameis be the best quarterback he possibly be. He is the starter. I am not here to compete for the starting position. I'm here to be the backup. Yeah. That's what Andy Dalton said out his mouth. I understand. You can say, oh, it's politics. No, Andy Dalton, do you understand that Chase Daniels made a career in the league just being a backup, making $8 million, just being a backup?
I got you. I know.
9 years.
And that's what Andy Dalton wants to do. I know.
Andy Dalton's like, damn, I could do the same thing, and I'm better than Chase Daniels. I can do the same thing and skate through, and they're going to be like, oh, well, if somebody gets hurt, well, we got Andy Dalton. He's like, all right, cool. I can make 10 M's and coast off for the rest of the year. He could do that for the next 6 years, make 60 mil. Andy Dalton have a great, I don't know, does redheads get gray?
Yes.
Okay.
I am proof of that.
I don't know, man. Like, I don't. It's not many redheads that I know.
I got some grays coming in on the beard already. So,
but like, you just sit there and chill out and cash out, get your bread. I don't know.
All right, Brian. Let's get your thoughts. Tell us about Devontae Parker. The Patriots trade inside their division with the Dolphins. They get Devontae Parker and a 5th-round pick, and the Patriots give up a 3rd-round selection
next year.
2023, yeah.
Yeah. So the reason why they did this, obviously they like Devontae Parker. Bill Belichick has a history of liking players that burn him. Devontae Parker used to burn the Patriots all the time. Even when they had Gilmore. For some reason, Devontae Parker had a field day against Gilmore. Something weird about it. But, so he liked the player. So he went and got him. He was cheap. They're going to get a 3rd-round compensatory pick.
After he couldn't get Odell.
Right. They're going to get a 3rd-round compensatory pick next year anyways because they lost J.C. Jackson in free agency this year. So in their minds, in Bill's mind, he's like, oh, I'm just moving back to the end of the 3rd round. Like, whoop-de-doo. And then he gave up a meaningless 5th-round pick this year. So, for Devontae Parker. So in his mind, he got a great deal. The value is there. My concern as a fan is Devontae Parker's only played a full season one time in his career. It was his best season, too. He had a 1,200-yard receiving season, but that was his only 1,000-yard receiving season, too. So he has history concerns, and it's these soft tissue injuries. It's the hamstrings. It's, the calf muscles.
Bill gonna get that right.
Right. So they're going to get him on a training regimen. It involves a lot of stretching and hydration, and hopefully it works out because the talent is there.
Yeah.
So
he's a dog still.
Yeah.
When he gets the targets, he start eating crazy. What happened with the OBJ talks? They just didn't fall through. What?
I don't know. I think
too much money.
I think it's more about it's too much. It's too much problem or diva versus talent for that one.
My guy, that's dead. That's not him no more.
Okay.
I don't think the Patriots is because of diva. You know, Bill Belichick is cheap. It's probably was.
It's money.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, it's money. He didn't want to give him the right money.
Yeah, I mean the Patriots are always cheap.
Yeah. So how do you think that helps the Patriots out though by getting Devontae Parker? Like, does that make y'all that much better? Honestly,
it does only because Devontae Parker is going to do what Nelson Aguilar was supposed to do. He's supposed to be that X receiver, and it didn't work out last year. I think Aguilar is going to be out, whether it's a trade or if he gets cut in camp, something like that. He's going to be gone, and then Bourne and Jacoby are going to be your inside route kind of guys, the playmakers. Devontae Parker is going to be that outside receiver that you can go to when you need it to move the chains. You know, it's going to be good. It's an elevation from where they were. It's not going to make them world beaters.
I think they still, if they get rid of Aguilar, they still draft a receiver.
Yeah,
they have to.
I think they're going to target Michi because the value is going to be there because of the injury. He's projected now in like the third round.
Yep.
And he's a first-round talent. So that's the kind of player Bill goes after.
Even Jameson is projected not to be in the first round anymore.
Really?
Yeah. That surprised me.
Slipping.
I mean,
yeah, like I didn't understand that because if you get somebody like Jameson, bro,
I've been seeing him getting mocked to the Packers, which is late first, but
yeah, in some draft boards. But
the
remember,
edge
he was supposed
to pushing up in the draft.
Yeah.
Yep, big time. He was supposed to originally be number 6.
Right.
Then the ACL he dropped to like 15, and then some boards he's in the second. Like so,
yeah,
I don't know. Whoever gets him and Michi, those are going to be steals.
Yes.
Right? And only reason why I say that is because Alabama receivers have a history of being good as hell in the NFL. Right? And it's ACL now is like a sprained ankle. Right?
A little bit longer term, but yeah.
It's a longer term, but I'm saying that the recovery is not as like back in the day, bro. ACL, you'd be like, oh, he's done.
Yeah, that's
now
tough.
it's like, oh, you got an ACL, he's all right, he can come back. All right, so.
I'll be interested to see whenever we do like our draft recap.
Yeah.
The defensive end that I'm super excited to see like where he goes is that dude from Oregon, because I've seen him mocked as high as 1, as low as like outside the top 10. Like slipping, so like, it's I don't know. People are all over the map with this guy. I don't know.
Kevon Thibodeau.
Yeah.
I think.
Y'all remember when I
he's the
said
best
that
one.
name a while ago and I was trash with it? You feel me?
Is it Kevon or Kayvon?
Kevon. It depends on potato, tomato, however you want to say it, right?
No, there's a vowel that depends on it.
he
It's
had
either an
the
E or an A.
It's an A.
You're right.
Every kiss begins with kiss. Sorry.
Oh man.
Okay.
No, he. I think I agree with you, Brian. I think that he's the better athlete, and I hope the Giants get him. But you know.
Yeah. Really, people talk about his motor, and I'm like, you say motor, but this year he was hurt. So it's like, how much are you going to compare and say, oh, his motor. If I got a bum ankle, a high ankle sprain at that, some games I'm not going to be able to go, bro. And I'm just trying to power through, right? But I definitely think he's better than what's his name from Michigan?
Hutchinson.
Not Ojabo. Hutchinson. I think he is a fluke. And I'm saying that if I ever meet you in person or you come on the show, I'm going to tell you, bro, I think you're a fluke, right? The reason why I think you're a fluke is because you did all that talking, not verbally, but, showing it through your actions, how you showed up to the national championship or to the playoffs, looking all GQ and did nothing. Had Georgia pushing you out the club. That's what they were doing. The O-lineman was throwing you out the club. And if you're a dog, that doesn't happen. You might not be as effective, but you're going to have some stats. I didn't even think I've ever heard his name the whole game. Nothing.
I don't remember.
That's my spiel.
I can't
That's
disagree with you. You're probably right.
What I mean?
I think it's just interesting, the defensive line and the edge rushers. The defensive ends and the edge rushers this year are super interesting because you got like those tall, lengthy guys, and then you got those power rushers. Like there's something for every defensive scheme in this draft. So it'll be very interesting. And then the other one is the other position group is like the offensive line. Like they're all over the place. You have like one or two that the Alabama dude, the Alabama
the Georgia
tackle,
guy.
and then
Neil.
NC State tackle. Like those are good.
I thought it was Georgia. The
Icky?
Ikawe. Yeah, that guy.
Yeah, he's NC State.
Oh, my bad. They're red. They got red.
Yeah, you're right.
They were talking about him being a big time player. You know another position, the cornerbacks. Yep. It's a ton of speedsters at the cornerback position this year.
There's a lot of speed, but for some reason
from LSU, that dude from LSU,
Stingley
Jr.
Yeah, but he's not. He's like an afterthought right now.
No, there's a guy from Tennessee who got like a 4.36.
Yeah,
and he's fast as hell. Like that is
the Baylor boys. Is it? The Baylor has two corners. One of them timed at 4.29, I believe, 4.29 or 4.26. The other one is actually 3. Another one was 4.29. One of them was 4.26. One of them 4.29, and then one of them was like 4.3 something. All on the same team, all cornerbacks, right? And then you got other positions. Like it's going to be hard, man. If you are a team that need defensive players this year, you're going to be able to. I don't want to hear anybody complain. You're going to be able to get your pickings because there's enough depth at every position on defense. Like receivers, I don't know. Running backs, nah. Quarterbacks, nah.
I saw there was like a safety that they had rated high, but he ran like super slow at the combine.
From Notre Dame, you talking about?
Yeah, the Notre Dame guy.
Hamilton?
Hamilton. But he's rated real high, but he ran like a 4.59, like not slow, but like
but that's okay.
Defensive back.
If he's a box
he's
safety, then that's fine.
But he a coverage.
Is he? That's a little slow.
So like, but he's. I forgot what defense they play in Notre Dame, but he is sideline to sideline though. He's nasty. If it's in the air, he probably gonna come down with it.
He might be one of those guys that just plays faster than his time.
Possibly.
Then the two Cincinnati cornerbacks. Let me not forget them.
Sauce.
Oh man,
Sauce Gardner.
Sauce.
He
Sauce
might be
Gardner.
the next prime time. He might be. I'm just
saying.
Might be. He's got the the mojo
the name,
or whatever.
And he has a swagger.
He's the swag. You need that at corner.
Yes, you do.
Cornerback to play on an island like that. Half of it's like mental. Like if you can get into the receiver's head, I'm swear that's how Ramsey makes like half his money. Like doing that.
If he proves like that the stats in college was not a fluke, it's a wrap, right? Or nobody has thrown to his side or whatever completion or whatever in 3 years or some stuff like that. I forgot what it is, a touchdown or something like that.
He has not allowed a single touchdown.
Yeah,
reception.
I mean, granted, that's Cincinnati who they really play, but
they played a couple teams during the bowl games and stuff like that.
Touchdowns?
But like at the end of the day, no touchdowns at a corner position. No matter if you in the ITT Tech, it doesn't matter. If you doing that, like that's good, bro.
I still think it's good, but like it would look even better if he was doing that at Alabama.
Yeah, but I'm saying if he does it in the league his first year, then he's like, oh, it's not a fluke. He really like that.
Oh, yeah.
Then it's over. It's a wrap.
Yeah, he's gonna let up a touchdown in the league. Sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But I'm saying if he holds it down, right? Meaning like if it's like 4 touchdowns or less or something like that, then he gonna give up a tutty. There's no way he just has no tutty.
Yeah.
Like, he's gonna give one up.
He goes his whole rookie year
over here, no touchdown. You're like, yo, who is this dude? Right? So, yeah. My bad.
All right, that's all I got. I'm glad we got to do a little impromptu draft coverage.
Yeah, that was too easy.
I'm hyped.
I am. I'm hyped about it too, man. It's a lot. The draft board is gonna be real exciting. When is the draft again?
Late April.
Yeah, late April. 20 something.
All right.
I'll tell you. It's like just gotta look at the calendar.
Hopefully it's not the 23rd.
28th.
All right, cool. Then I can attend this year. All right, I'm coming over this year.
Yeah, Thursday, April 28th.
All right, let's do it.
I thought you meant we were going to Vegas. I was like, oh,
No.
okay.
I'm
Let
down.
me know.
So we're gonna just go ahead and trickle over into the great debate because I know we took a lot of time in football because we had fun with that. So the great debate is going to be football related, right? I want you guys' opinion, right? With all the little madness and people having the back and forth on if it should be conferences, if it not should be conferences, how things should be split up. What's your guys' view on that? Do you think that they should have conferences or not have conferences? And it could be NFL or college, right? Just want you guys' opinion.
I will let you guys handle the college, like the in-depth college stuff, because I'm not tracking like how it's specifically lined up. I just know that like the conference stuff in college is so much politics that like I think that it shouldn't exist. It should just be the best teams in the country make it. But I get it because like there's also like the politics when it comes to like ranking the top 25 teams in the country as well. Like if you're undefeated doesn't mean you're going to be top 10 or top 5. So I won't even get into the college, but when it comes to the NFL, I think that we need to keep divisions and conferences no matter what, because I get in some instances it's annoying because you may have a team that's every team in your division is over like 10 wins, and then a team that wins their division with like 9 wins is going to get in over you. That's going to happen occasionally, but it's not as frequent as you think. And the rivalries, like imagine not having like a Packers game against like the Bears, like that's because of their conference. They play each other twice a year. Like you can't or their division, like those kind of rivalries. I mean, you can't go without that. Like like Giants versus Redskins, Giants versus Commanders, Giants Cowboys. Like these rivalries, like are enrooted in the division rivalry. The fact that they play each other so often. So I kind of like it, and it's a little different with the NFL because there is a salary cap, so there's like an even playing field for all teams. Because like some small market teams can actually be good, like the Packers.
That's not a small market.
Well,
not for football.
They are not for football right now.
It's a small town.
It's a small town, but technically they would be a small market if there was an open no cap. If it was like the MLB, like the Packers would not be able to compete with teams from New York and LA. There's no way.
There's no way. I don't know about that. I'd be interested to see how much they're worth. That's really what it boils down to.
When did the salary cap come out?
It was like the 90s, I think.
And then when did the Packers start getting good?
The history of the Packers, they've been good since inception.
No,
Packers?
They've been good pretty much every decade.
Yeah, like what are you talking about? Vince Lombardi. What are we talking about?
The only team that's been better than them every decade is like the Steelers.
No, the Packers were extremely good when they were Titletown, like with Bart Starr and like back in the day. And then there was like a huge lull where they weren't that like competitive.
You're talking about between Starr and Favre, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, maybe.
They were not. I mean, did they have a season or two where they played well? Sure. But then once the implementation of the salary cap and free agency, which they were like one of the first to sign Reggie White, which was like a huge signing for them, and then it kind of sparked them getting better. I don't know. That's just my opinion, but Packers fans can hit me up and hate on me all they want.
Yeah, to me, I think that if they split into 2 conferences, that's how everything should be, right? Because I understand everybody's going to have their fans and who they like, what teams they like. But to me, I hate that the NFC East, like, they make it with shitball teams, right? Like, they are trash. Yeah, you're beating each other up, but you guys are not good. But so, like, you got to put somebody that's playing pathetic into the playoffs when they're really not good, right? And
like who? Like who?
What do you mean?
Who got in this year that was trash?
Not this year. I'm just saying, like, historically, like when that one year where everybody was like, okay, that everybody's a losing record, and whoever wins out, they make it. It's like, what? We have other teams that people are trying to fight to get in.
Didn't they win a game though that year in the playoffs? It was Washington.
That doesn't matter though. That doesn't matter. Everybody gets lucky. right? Everybody gets lucky, but what I'm saying in that case is you stop from another good team getting in that's been playing their ass off all year, but they're in a hard conference, and then you guys are sucking it up, but you guys still get rewarded. That makes no sense to me. It should be cut in half. Like, okay, cool. AFC, NFC, who the top teams? That's who make it to the playoffs, right? That's just my opinion. You can still play your games. You can still have your rivalry games and do all that jazz, right? Giants versus the football team and the Cowboys versus whoever. But at the same time, it's like, if you're not playing good, if it's not your year, it's not your year, bro. We don't want to have to deal with, like, the Eagles making it this year. Like, what?
Who should have made it?
Yeah, the Eagles were a waste. The Eagles were a waste.
They were a waste, but they were tied with several teams at 9-8, and they had the tiebreakers. They were the last team to get in. Okay, in the AFC, if you got rid of conferences, because I was gonna bring this up anyways. In the AFC, the last team that got in was the Steelers at 9-7-1, so they technically were better than the Eagles. But what I'm saying is the only thing that possibly would have changed for the playoffs if the conferences were taken away is if one of the AFC teams that was 9-8, like the Colts, if they had a tiebreaker that was better than the Eagles. That's the only way the playoffs would have changed last year. And, of course, the seeding would have been a little bit different if they didn't have conferences.
I'm not talking just from last year. I'm just talking about overall. Yeah.
But it's recent history. You know, like I'm not sitting here Googling every year. But
You're right.
But, yeah, you have a point. Sometimes a 7-9 team, or, well, now it'd be like 8-9, will get in. But it's very rare. It doesn't happen very often. I don't think that the playoffs really would be impacted that much. The only difference would be the seeding. Like I said, is the seeding will be different if they got rid of the conferences.
Yeah.
Like, because right now you do have some times where a division, like, you'll have a division winner who only wins like 10 games, will be like the 4th seed, and then there might be a 5th seed that has like 12 wins. So that part will be different.
I remember the year.
But shouldn't you get rewarded for that though?
For what?
For having a great year like that. If I got 12 wins, why should I not get rewarded coming as a 5th seed just based off of the standings of my division?
Yeah, I mean that's fair. It's a fair argument. But how often does that really happen?
It's infrequent.
It's not about that. It's just about it's not about how often does it happen. It's about the principle. Right, I bust my ass all season. I have a great record. I'm not getting rewarded just because I'm in a hard division. So I gotta go into the 5th spot when really I'm probably the 3rd best team in the whole division, or the whole conference. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? So like, yeah, it doesn't. Oh, it's not that big of a deal. But yeah, you might play an easier team, right? That might be a better matchup for yourself, and give you a better probability of winning and going on to the next round. No.
No, I agree. I think that the NFL has figured it out, though. They make it worthwhile to watch, like every playoff game. Like I love the move to 7 teams in each conference to the playoffs. I know some people are like, "Oh, it's kind of dumb," but like it makes it so that the 1 seed gets the bye week, and it makes that 1 seed way more valuable of a seed. So like I don't know. I think that was a good move, and it makes the playoffs more entertaining, and it's more football, playoff football.
I agree.
Yeah,
I would say, to caveat, to go into the college aspect of it, I think that what they're doing in college right now is a little wild wild westy, if that makes sense.
Follow the money.
Yeah, it's like, for instance, Texas wanted to go into the SEC. Oklahoma got wind of that. They're like, oh shit, I'm putting my stuff in for the SEC too. But it's like, why? So you're going to SEC, you're going to take away from the Big 12. So the Big 12 is not going to be as powerful because you want to go into SEC because you guys are chasing the money.
Yeah.
Right? So for me, I'm like, man, if you're going to do that, just scrap the conferences. Right? Scrap the conferences. You guys can do your individual games and make money, right? You think about it, you look at the Big 10, right, or you look at the Big 12, right? You got West Virginia that's in there. That doesn't make any sense, right? West Virginia is far as hell from all those other schools, right? You look at the Big 10. You got Maryland in the Big 10. I guess that can make sense in a little bit, but to me, Maryland they can't even compete in the Big 10 from them being in ACC. It fit better with their in ACC than them being in the Big 10, right? Like, I don't know, man. To me, it's just a little wacky because what you're going to start to see is a conference like the SEC that's going to get all this pub. Then you're going to get a Pac-12. You're going to get the Big 12. They're like, damn, we got to beef up our doggone conferences. So what they're going to do, they're going to start poaching from the ACC, or they're going to start poaching from all these different other conferences, just trying to put teams in there to kind of beef things up. So then you're going to have some wild stuff where you're going to have doggone Vanderbilt saying, okay, well, we're the laughing stock in the SEC. We're going to the Big 10. And it's like, what? Or they're going to the Pac-12 because they're going to get more money. And it's like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just weird to me. And it's a lot of other teams that, you know, we don't see right now, but when 2024, 2025 comes, they're making all these alliances. They're switching conferences already because they already signed it in already, but it doesn't happen till later on. That it's going to be wonky, man. It's going to be wonky when teams are, especially for lower conferences like the AAC, when you have a Hawaii team in the AAC or something like that. And it's like, you're flying from Hawaii all the way to the AAC.
I mean, no matter who Hawaii plays, though, that's going to be.
It's weird, right? Yeah. But, like, it's just going to. I don't know, man. Like Idaho, SMU going to Idaho flying to Florida. Like that's just too weird to me.
Yeah, they definitely need to go back to geographical conferences. Like
reset the whole thing.
Yes, reset the whole thing. Draw it up. Be like, let's just start in the Northeast and be like, all right, first 10 teams we come across that are Division I. There you go. That's our Big East or whatever you want to call it. Yeah. You know, and then just keep moving around. The SEC, you're gonna have to break it up. Some of those teams are gonna have to go to you know, another conference.
The Southwestern Conference, like how it was in the day.
Yeah,
right?
Or whatever. Yeah, something like that. Like your Texas team, I don't think should be in the SEC. I think Texas is far enough west. They should be in a different conference. But they should still be in the same conferences like Oklahoma, because that's so you get the Red River rivalry.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, you can keep these rivalries alive and still realign the conferences.
Because you're going to see Texas Tech and then TCU get upset because they're like, hold on. All these Texas A&M and Texas teams, they're in the SEC. It's hard for us to recruit.
Right.
We need to get in the SEC.
Yep.
Put their position in. Why they're not going to be accepted?
Yeah.
Right? It's not like they don't have historic resumes and they get in there. Then it's like, okay, the SEC has 18 teams. So it's like, dang.
And if you get rid of conferences altogether, I think the fans are going to be upset when it comes to deciding the playoffs because it's going to be that much harder for the committee to actually decide on the teams in a fair way. Like at least now you got your conference winners. Basically those are the teams you're choosing from. Whoever wins their conference, those are usually the crop of teams that you're looking at.
That's true.
But if you take that away, it's whoever had a better strength of schedule. Well, I mean, that's arbitrary.
Well,
that's
valid. If they take away conferences, how do they project what games you're going to be playing? Are teams just choosing which team?
Yeah. But you do that already.
Schedule every year.
You do that already, though, right? Teams do that already for their non-conference. Like, okay, cool, let me play this team. Okay, exactly. I'll pay you. Or Alabama, let's play a USC. It's going to be a big money there, right? Or whatever the case may be. But if they want to increase the playoffs to begin with, right? I got this little cone head look with my hat. But anyway, if they want to increase the playoffs to begin with, right? They want to increase more teams. You can really set it up like a March Madness type of thing, right? Like, yeah, I understand the conference winners get in there, right? But you can bid like, okay, the top teams, the top 12 teams, go in there, just like they do in the FBS, right? In AA, they have a schedule, and then you go into like a bracket, and you do the same thing, right? You rank it, boom, 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 boom. You play it all the way to the championship.
Why are they not moving to that?
They're because a lot of people are getting pushback, like SEC teams, like, why are we going to do that when we've been playing a harder schedule than everybody else, right? Like some of these teams are like upset because they're like, our competition is way harder. We shouldn't have to do all that. But it makes more sense if you just chop it all up, right? You can still have your little conferences and whatever the case may be, but the top teams, you make it in there and you just play it out.
I mean, I get their argument that like, why would you do it that way? But at the end of the day, if you can't get into the top 4 because your conference is too hard, you do top 12, then you have more of a chance to get in. So what do you?
Yeah.
Nick Saban already said. He said if they did it, he said I'm for it.
Yeah.
Right. He said I want to play the best teams. I don't care. So if he said, nobody else could complain. Right. He the GOAT.
That's also because he knows that no matter what, his team's gonna be in it. Because it's so easy for him to recruit. Like people just want to play for Alabama.
Hey, now with Kirby coming up. So. Yeah. Any other thoughts before we close it?
I do want to hit because I looked up the Packers stuff. Between 1968 In 1992, which was the first year Favre started with the Packers, they made the playoffs twice.
Oof.
So
That's a valid point. That's a valid point. Hey,
And
if
then
you get
the-
the statistics out, it's valid.
1992 is when they got Favre. They made the playoffs the following year in 1993. They were 9-7. Then 1994, they were 9-7. 1994 is when the salary, or when free agency started and the salary cap started. And since then, they've been making the playoffs every year. They won 11 games, 13, 11. Like, it's just
Ryan,
the Packers
check-
became relevant because of salary cap.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. You got a hey, you got a point. You got a point.
All right, I'm done.
All right. Well, anyway, man, that will wrap it up for the great debate. I think only thing I have to say before we go is the Masters is this weekend.
Tiger.
Tiger Woods is making his comeback, which is just that's just admirable. Like him just powering through, right?
He almost lost his leg, right?
Lost it. Yeah, he
Yeah.
almost got it amputated because of all how bad the fracture is and everything, all this stuff. But yeah, he's gonna be back, so it's gonna be interesting how hard he plays through. He can't. He said it hurts. It's more difficult for him to walk. But his swing, when I watched it today, because of course I'm at home, right? I'm watching, and I'm like, man, they look good. So I'm looking forward to tomorrow watching it kick off. I would say if you have any thing for BK bet wise, you can put some money on Tiger. I know nobody's expecting him, but if he did win, it would make sense because he would pass Jack Nicklaus for the having the most Masters all times, right? And he's 46. Jack Nicklaus was 46 when it happened, so it'd be kind of crazy to see that happen, right? I know Phil Mickelson is not there. Justin Thomas is somebody else you could put some money on. Who else? Brooks Koepka, good person. I forgot how he says his last name. Schofield, something like that. I was looking at it today, right? I'm just putting out, the top guys who
It's
I think
beautiful.
you can
It's
make some
great.
money off of it.
Didn't
Right.
Mickelson, he backed out, right?
Yeah, we're not going to get into that. We're not getting into all that.
Wait, did you say Justin Rose?
Oh, no, I didn't. I said
He-
Justin Thomas.
Oh, Justin Rose usually performs pretty well at the Masters, so I'm just saying.
Yeah, it could be. John Rahm is another one, right? So we gave you 6 picks that you can put your money on. That could be good performances to make some bread out there. So, as always, we appreciate the support, man. We continue to grow, we get bigger. A little before you know it, we're gonna have to, start giving people autographs and stuff when we're walking through the commissary and stuff. But no, we appreciate it, man. Follow us on all the socials as always. Again, for the winners for the March Madness bracket, please reach out to us on the social media, not on Facebook because we didn't see the message there. So on Instagram or Twitter, we'll definitely get that and compensate you guys. And keep subscribing and sharing with your friends. We appreciate the love. Peace.